Hi, welcome to Sweet Bliss Yoga. My name is Claire. Today's class is a class for the low back. So if you suffer from any low back pain or discomfort, this class might be helpful for you. We'll be going through some poses that will be strengthening and also some poses that will stretch you out. So hopefully this class will help you feel better. You will need one block. If you don't have a block, you can use anything around the house that you might have, like a couple of pillows, cushion. See what you have and come back and join us. We'll start off in a tabletop position, so on hands and knees. And we'll just take a few cats and cows here. Inhaling, allowing the back to arch, belly down towards the mat, gaze is lifting up. Taking your sacrum towards the ceiling. Exhale, pressing into the mat. Belly button towards the spine, pressing your spine up towards the ceiling. Inhaling back into a cat. And rolling those shoulder blades back and down in your cat position. Exhaling into cow. Pressing those hands into the mat, allowing your shoulder blades to separate. Inhale, back to cat. And one more exhale into your cow position. Now tucking your toes, we'll lift up into a downward facing dog. So hips up towards the ceiling, pressing those heels down into the mat, pressing your hands into the mat. And you can grip with your fingertips to take some pressure off of those wrists, shoulders away from the ears. You can walk your dog out here, pressing one heel and then the other into the mat, alternating right and left. Lifting up onto the balls of your feet, bring your knees down. And we'll scoop our chest through our hands, coming up into a cobra. So rolling your shoulder blades down your back, squeezing your elbows in to the sides of your ribs. Tuck your toes, come back to downward facing dog. And we'll bring the right knee into the chest and place it in between your hands, coming down into a low lunge. You can place the top of your back foot onto the mat. And just take a moment to adjust here. You want to make sure that your knee is over your ankle and just stretching out the hip flexor here. Tight hip flexors can contribute to your low back pain. So we'll just take a little bit of nerve flossing here. So sinking your hips back towards your heel, lifting your toes up to the ceiling, stretching out that hamstring, coming back forward into your lunge, sinking your hips back again, and follow your breath. Take a few of these back and forth. And the next time you find yourself sinking your hips back into your half splits pose, hold it there and your hamstring stretch. You might feel this in your low back as well. So while you're in this position, extending your spine, extending the crown of your head out towards your toes. Keep lifting those toes, flexing your foot, lifting your toes up towards the ceiling. And coming back forward into that low lunge. Tuck your back toes. Let's take it back up to a downward facing dog. Just take a moment to walk your dog out. Lifting up onto the balls of your feet, take your knees down to your mat, scooping your chest through in between your hands, lifting up into a cobra, shoulders back and down, squeezing your shoulder blades together here. Take an inhale, exhale, let your forehead rest on the mat for a moment. On your next inhale, lift your chest and your hands off the ground. So baby cobra here. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. For 3, 2, 1, and come back down, forward, forehead to the mat. Let's take one more baby cobra here. On your inhale, lift up, chest and hands, squeezing the shoulder blades together, shoulders are back and down. Keep breathing here for 3, 2, 1, and release down. Pressing your hands into the mat, sink your hips back into a child's pose. Just to take a little release here before we move to the other side. Coming back up to hands and knees, tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Walk your dog out here again, pressing one heel then the other into the mat, stretching out those calves. And lifting up on the balls of your feet. And then pressing both heels back down to the mat. Lift your left knee into your chest and then bring your foot in between your hands, coming into a low lunge on the left. Take a moment to adjust. And just breathe into this for a moment, breathing into this shape, allowing that right hip flexor to open up. Now we'll do a little bit of that, what they call nerve flossing on this side. So sinking your hips back towards your heel, your right heel, lift the toes up towards the ceiling, the left toes. Taking that hamstring stretch, and now moving back and forth between the low lunge and your half splits. Moving with your breath at your own pace. And the next time you find yourself with your hips sinking back in your half splits pose, hold it. Flex your foot a little bit more. You can use your hands to kind of pull your shoulders down and back, extending your spine, extending through the crown of your head. Breathing here. And coming back forward into that low lunge. Bring your left leg back to meet the right, and we'll sink down onto our bellies here. Just take a moment with your forehead to the mat and your hands, your arms alongside of your body. When you're ready, bring your arms up overhead in front of you. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, lift your arms and your legs up. Chest, arms, legs, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. Keep lifting and release it down. This time, let's interlace our hands on the back of our head. Take an inhale. On your exhale, lift your head and your chest up, as well as your legs. Lift up. Try to keep your elbows back, pressing back and up. Lift a little bit higher and release down. Taking your arms out to a T shape. Take a deep breath in and lift up. Lifting your arms out and up, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Shoulders are away from the ears, lifting those legs up. You'll probably feel this in your low back and other parts of your back. Lift up a little bit higher and release down. Taking your hands down alongside of your body. Take a deep inhale and lifting up. And just remembering to breathe while you're in these poses. We're not holding our breath. We're breathing in and out as we're lifting our chest, our arms, our legs, everything up. Try to lift a little bit higher and release down. This time, if you'd like to join me in clasping your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, and on your exhale, lifting up. Pressing those hands back and down towards the feet, lifting those legs up off the ground. And release. You can unclasp your hands, stack your hands underneath your forehead, and just take a moment here to breathe. When you're ready, press your hands into the mat and sink your hips back into a child's pose. And lifting back up to hands and knees, you can cross your feet and make your way onto your back. Make sure that your block is nearby. First, we'll just take a bridge pose without the block. So bringing your heels towards your fingertips. Make sure that your shoulder blades are wrapped underneath you on the floor. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, pressing into your feet, lifting those hips up towards the ceiling. And pressing your shoulders down and back into the mat, lifting your chin away from your chest. And release down. This time we'll take our block, Place it in between your thighs, squeezing the block in between the thighs. Taking an inhale, and on your exhale, keep squeezing the block, press into your feet, and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing and lifting. You might feel a different area of your low back engaging here. And release down. Keep that block in between your thighs. On your next inhale, breathe in deeply, and on your exhale, lifting your hips back up into a bridge, squeezing the block in between your thighs. Lift those hips up, keep lifting. And release down. Remove the block for now, but keep it nearby. This time, well, I'll take that back. If you want to keep using the block, go right ahead, or if you'd like to join me in a different shape, we'll take the right ankle on top of the right knee, keeping that left foot flat on the mat. We'll lift up into a bridge pose from here. So take an inhale, exhale, lift your hips up. Keep that right ankle on top of that left knee. Keep lifting. And release. And pulling that entire shape towards you, you can clasp behind your hamstring or in front of that left shin, and feeling a nice stretch in the right glute. And breathe into your stretch here. And release. Let's switch legs. Left ankle on top of the right knee. Take an inhale, exhale, lifting those hips up, pressing that right foot into the mat. Keep pressing and lifting those hips up. And release, pulling that entire shape in, taking a nice stretch on this side. You can clasp behind that right hamstring or in front of that shin. And release, and from here we'll take a supported bridge. So taking your block or your prop, and I'm going to use the second setting, the second height setting, place underneath the sacrum. And just allowing your low back to release here for a moment. Just letting the block hold you up. Breathing, letting your breath slow down a little bit. Your heart rate might have sped up a little bit with the exertion from the past couple of poses, so this can allow your breath and your heart rate, your nervous system to slow down. Now you can take that left leg and extend it out straight, so that you can get a little bit of stretch in the hip flexor, and you can pull your right knee in towards you. And releasing that right leg down, switching sides. So left foot flat on the mat, extending the right leg out, pulling the left knee in towards you. Getting another little stretch into that right hip flexor. Breathe into it. And release. Pressing into both feet, lifting your hips up and removing your block. Take your knees together, arms out to a T, and allow both knees over to the left. Taking a little spinal twist here. You can take your left hand and help the twist along if you like, or you can just allow gravity to do the work. Engaging your core, lifting your knees back up through center and allowing them to drop to the right. You can use your right hand to help the left knee over if you like. Engaging your core again, bringing your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And before you allow your legs to extend out the width of your mat, tuck the shoulder blades underneath your back and extend your arms along your side, palms up. Taking a Shavasana, allowing your body to rest and pause and take in all of the lovely work that you've done today. Allowing your breath to slow down, noticing as your breath flows in and out through your nose. When you're ready, waking up your fingers and toes, hands and your feet. Maybe lifting your arms up overhead and taking a full body stretch here. Rolling over to one side and slowly making your way up to a seat. Thank you again for joining me. I hope that this class has helped with your low back pain or your low back discomfort if that's what you're suffering from today. Hopefully it'll help you over the next few days. If you enjoy my video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell for notifications for new videos. I am putting up a new video every week, and I'm working on a course for yoga for chronic pain and fibromyalgia. So keep an eye out for that as well. I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste.